Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. We just departed Jekyll Island, and we departed around 10:30 in the morning so that we're timing our travel through a river called Little Mud River farther up at half tide or rising higher, which is challenging around here because it is very shallow. So actually right now it's super shallow, and when we left this morning we had only about 1 to 1.5 feet under our keel. So there's a lot of mud being mixed up behind the boat, and we saw that from other boats as well. I don't know if you can see that behind me. There's a bunch of pelicans diving for fish right here. It's kind of fun to watch that. But as we go by Jekyll Island here, we've been going by the sort of historic district that we had a tour of yesterday. Saw a lot of those cottages, which really are like mansions. A lot of money in this island at one time. And passed a shrimp boat. And now we're headed a little farther north along the Intra-coastal waterway. Hope you're having a great day. past an inlet and going back in again to carry along the Intra-coastal waterway. We're coming up to probably the shallowest part of our journey today, called Little Mud River, and it's super shallow here, so that's why we timed it to come on a rising tide. And I think right now we have about 6 feet under us, and it's going to get even skinnier, as they say. We'll show you that. Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon from the bridge.
Yeah, we're approaching our 4th inlet of the day.
Yeah, we've done a lot of inlets today. And we've picked, I think, a great day to do it. The weather has been very cooperative today. It's calm, it's sunny, unlike the other couple of days where there's a few storms or a bit of wind. So it's really calmed down. We could have gone outside today, but we didn't quite figure that out soon enough. And but we already had our route planned for today on the inside, on the ICW.
It's pretty nice out here, though.
It is. It's been very chill compared to some of our bigger, wilder things.
Journeys,
yes. So no, very nice. The weather now is probably the choppiest it's been, and that's only because we're really looking at the Atlantic Ocean over to our starboard side.
But the waves are pretty small for the Atlantic Ocean, so that's good for us.
They're very small, and
Yeah.
we've again had a lot of success with Bob 423.
423.
423. Thank you. I was going to say 423.
That's a track that a lot of loopers like to follow, especially in areas that are silted. That's what you're referring to, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we left to allow ourselves time to get through a particular section that is known to be very shallow, and we wanted to make sure we arrived there in mid-tide, which we did. So I don't think I ever saw less than about 8 feet under our boat, which is perfect for getting through. And those tracks helped. You just follow them, and thankfully someone else has kind of done the work for you. You still need to be attentive. You still need to make sure you know where you're going. But other than that, it takes a little bit of the guesswork out of the whole navigation.
A little bit of a guide, basically taking into account the conditions of these particular waterways.
Yeah.
Which can change quite quickly, from what I understand.
They apparently can.
Yeah.
So even now we're looking carefully as to where we need to turn. Even though we're in this big body of water right now.
It looks like you could go anywhere, but I guess you can't.
No, sometimes it goes down to 1 foot.
Yeah.
Other times it's 30.
Well, the first inlet we went by, I think I took a video of us doing that. Way out in the middle, we're doing kind of a V shape out in the inlet. It went down to, I think, 5 feet.
Yeah,
You would never guess that.
You would never guess it went that
Yeah.
low. And because the water's not clear, you can't see.
That's right.
So you don't know whether you're going to be driving
Yeah.
over something that's really deep or really
I
shallow.
got some images of some dolphins, but even looking over the bow of the dolphins, you could hardly see them. It was kind of silted, like you said.
Yeah, and even right now, I mean, we just came out of 30 feet, and now we're down to 14.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's making sure you know where
It's
you
just
are.
using all the tools that are available to us.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and we're certainly doing that these last couple of days.
So today we left, I think it was about 10:30. We timed it to arrive at Little Mud Creek at mid-tide, and we did. So that actually worked out very well. And I don't think we're going to get in until about, 6 or something. It's kind of a late day, but
Yeah.
we started later. So,
Yeah.
and we're just going to an anchorage. We're
there's
not
a-
actually going to a town this time.
There's a couple of good anchorages, and so the reports have been. We use Active Captain a lot to see
Yeah.
where these anchorages are, and that really gives you an idea to see what other people have done, because they typically leave comments. We've left a few comments here and there on anchorages that we've had,
Yeah.
and it gives the boaters that come after you some insight as to,
Some feedback on to the current conditions.
and it really does help. It makes you feel a little bit more at ease when you know you're going to an anchorage that someone else has already been to.
So as we're sitting here, Malcolm's using our remote control and our autopilot. He's doing it kind of manually. It's not autopilot per se, but he's point and shoot kind of thing. But he's turned the corner. So we actually just turned, and he's just using the remote control to turn us. I'll show you an image of the map too, of the charts.
I was putting it on autopilot earlier, but because it was so narrow and there's a fair amount of traffic,
It's a weekend too.
just becomes a little difficult to always take it off and put it back on. And so that
My goodness, it's so hard.
Oh, my thumb gets tired. What can I say? So it was just easier to use the remote.
But it's a beautiful day. We've seen some nice birds out here. The landscape is different. Now that we're in Georgia, we're seeing, I guess, what are they, like mud flats? But it's salt water, of course. So we're seeing at the sides of these waterways quite a few sandy areas. And it's very flat landscape.
Yeah,
some grasses and marshes at the side.
It's different. And when you look out into the ocean right now, you can see about 5 or 6 shrimp boats all lined up, all doing their shrimping. I guess this is the shrimp capital of the United States. So.
And at one point we had a lot of, I think they're called black-headed gulls, following behind us.
Yeah.
I think they thought we were a shrimp boat. They thought we were going to feed them shrimp, and they were kind of calling out and following us for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we've seen pelicans diving for fish. We've seen a lot of kind of jumping fish, little small fish.
Yeah, there's a lot of life in the ocean here. You don't know it because when you're, if you just watch the water, it looks very plain and
you don't see it.
You see
really.
nothing moving. But then when something disturbs the water, like when we go through it, all of a sudden you see thousands of fish starting to jump and the pelicans diving.
But it's a beautiful area.
It is.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to make it to all the towns in Georgia this time, but we do enjoy anchoring, so we'll probably take advantage of that and enjoy some of the natural anchored areas. I know there's some really nice old towns here too, like Savannah. I'm not sure we're going to get to Savannah, but we will stop at some point, maybe in the future, in Savannah and maybe other places. But it's really nice to enjoy these natural landscapes too.
It is, and we've been lucky. We went and spent some time in St. Augustine, which is a really nice town.
Which is Florida.
I know it's Florida. And then we also just had an afternoon in Jekyll Island.
Yeah, that's really nice too. Really interesting history there.
That's a stay cool recommended spot right there. That was a nice stay.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll end off here, and we'll show you a little bit more of this journey as we approach our anchorage. And hope you're having a great day. There. We're just approaching our anchorage. I believe it's in Newport River. And as I look around here, there's quite a few boats anchored, and you can see quite far away because of the flats. There's really nothing blocking the vision. So I'll just do a quick pan of the area here to show you. So Malcolm's just following us into our anchorage here, and I'll go on down and get the windlass on and get the anchor launched. Arrived at our destination at an anchorage on Newport River, and it's near St. Catharines Island. There's not really a lot here, just some beautiful natural scenery, kind of our type of place. And we feel like we're kind of anchored in the middle of the channel, but it's a known anchorage, and it's not like a heavy traffic way or anything. It kind of just looks like it is. But a little bit of a breeze on the water, nice and warm in the sun. It'll be cooler in the evening, which is very nice for sleeping. And I think we went about maybe 7.5 hours today, and I'll put the stats up there so you can see that. But it's nice to be in before the sun has set, and we can enjoy the evening and then get an early night and get up early tomorrow and keep going. So we'll enjoy some of this scenery here. I can see another boat actually coming towards us. I'm not sure if they're coming directly here, but there's a few boats sort of dotted around in this area, all anchored for the night.